we'll work on this little pathway here.
Okay.
And here, you can tap here. Tap. Tap.
Oh, sorry, there's nothing on it.
There you go. There you go. So if you ever get out of line, like right there, and it's like, I didn't give permission for you to be loose or whatever.
Right.
When you give that tap, you're just saying, I disagree with your behavior. Or I understand your So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna have you start with a quick review.
Okay.
Just show me how it's looking. And then from there, we're gonna work on the second half of the heel. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions before we get started?
Well, I feel like I just had one at the top of my head. No, I don't think so right now.
Okay. And
That's what it is. Sometimes I think he doesn't get break.
Oh,
like,
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, he gets it, but like he doesn't. Like if I were to go over there and like walk him there in the heel position and then say break, he would go crazy and go play. But like when we're walking and I'm like, I decide to break, he just still kind of stays by my side.
Right. So there's no like an incentive for him to break, right? So what I would do is when you go on a walk, exaggerate that a bit more and give more breaks.
Oh, okay.
To make him more comfortable.
Okay.
Okay, because unless there's an incentive like dogs, he's just like, I'm going to be cautious and not release, which is a good thing. Okay?
Right.
Because the caution is him going, heel is a serious thing.
Right.
And I don't want to make any mistakes. So that's the positive of it.
Right.
The negative is if you want him to break to go potty, then that's an issue. Okay?
Right.
So what I would do is, let's say you do a 30-minute walk and you usually break in the middle and break at the end. Is maybe every 5 minutes I stop, he sits, gust break, nothing, wait a little bit, heel again, 5 minutes, stop, gust break. So now you're going to have 6 breaks within 30 minutes. Does that make sense?
Right.
So you're doing more, and eventually he's going to be like, okay, and then he's going to go and explore. And then
body shape?
I was going to say actually he's doing pretty good. He's only just breathing. That's where right here. And that's the thing I was going to point out now is that, remember last week how much he was shaking?
Yeah, I guess he's not shaking. Oh, and then he's yawning. Okay.
Yeah. So this is much better than the last week. Because last week it was like, what the hell is this?
Right.
Rules, discipline, consequence, discomfort. Then he's like, oh, okay. That's why I say heel is so important to practice because that's what gets him over the pressure.
Perfect.
Okay.
So basically, I need to do more breaks so that he gets it.
And then once you feel like he's getting more comfortable with it, then you can ease up on it and then just use it as needed.
Okay. And then the other thing was, I keep forgetting my question. What was it? Is it weird? Is it like common for them to like use if we're walking in a new location, it's like harder? Like,
yes.
Okay.
So
like we walked by the lake today, and he was like not really getting it. I had to turn it up.
Yes, that's normal.
Okay.
So your training is only as good as the environment you practice in. So if you always practice in your neighborhood, it's gonna be perfect. And then you go to like another neighborhood and he's not good. Okay. Now the great thing is the answer, as you noted, you went higher.
Right.
Is almost always the number. Okay. So if it's 20 in the neighborhood and you go on the lakefront, it could be 40 the first day. Then the next time you walk there, it's 30, and then the next time it's 20. You know, like once he gets familiar, like heel means heel here too.
Yeah.
You also want to take into consideration what's going on around you. So like if you try to heel him while dogs are running around playing, you could be even higher.
Also, I found like there was like a dog like walking over there, like who also had an e-collar but was off leash, and he was like trying to sway me to that side. Like he was like really getting into it.
Sure.
He was trying to get me to turn. Like
so he wanted to see the dog. Yep. There you go. So then I just keep going forward.
Yeah.
And then you can even tap for that, and it should just bring him back to your side.
Okay.
Because you're saying
like
don't do that.
On my side. He's like glued to my leg to the point where I can't walk.
Oh, okay.
So like he's trying to walk, like turn this way, but against my leg.
Okay. So we're gonna cover something today that should help with that.
Okay. And then the last thing is like I kind of like get to Dan's point now that he does like to walk on the right side, and it's like against the wall. Like down the road, could we ever switch it or no?
So if you switch it, I would switch it now because it has to be consistent.
Right.
So then if you do left for longer, right, and then you switch to the right, you're breaking 6 months of walking on the left.
Okay.
Now, so what's the issue? Like,
it's just like, for example, like on our street there are like everything's fenced, like the little yard areas, and so like when we walk that way, he can stay in between us and the fence. But I guess that doesn't. I mean, what's the reason for the left? Like, because I guess because most people are dominant.
Well, left is easier if you're right-handed. Left is also just traditional.
Okay. Okay.
And so the reason why I'm just like do left is because it does for me. I'm like it doesn't matter what the environment is, what's walking next to you, because heel is heel, and if you're doing well with he's getting close to the camera. Doing well with the walking stuff, it really shouldn't even matter where the dog is walking.
Okay, so we're just gonna keep it left then.
Tap, 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 tap. Yep, there you go. And hold right there. And then what's your number right now?
17.
From where?
10.
Okay, so how you doing? Just to point that out, right? He starts leaping and all that stuff, and you just bump 7 levels, and right away just detracted.
Right.
Came back and put his butt down.
Yeah.
No words, none of that stuff. Okay. So that's him having a really good concept of what he's supposed to do. Okay. And it's just a matter of working him in the situation.
Okay.
Okay.
He's supposed to be standing beside you. You're not doing.
And then wait a moment.
See who's the meaner one?
There you go. So like, let's say within that situation, right? You can use that to your advantage to teach him like, yes, this is happening, but you don't have permission to do this, no matter who it is.
Right.
Okay. So I don't care if it's his favorite person in the world. If his job is to be like this, then when that person comes in and he starts to break, you just do what you did. Is you just jump to the correction because there was no permission.
Right.
So what it would end up looking as is Gus is sitting down, he comes over to pet him, he doesn't move. Does that make sense? So,
alright.
Because we get the same thing with like, I get clients with puppies and people just like come in and pet their puppy like out of nowhere, and they're like, would you like to first?
Right, and that's another thing is like people want to let their dogs stay hiding.
Sure.
Rude, but I kind of just like take them off to the side.
That's not rude. You know, I tell people no all the time.
I know.
Yeah. Huh.
All right.
Now, if you want him to greet the dog, like let's say it's,
I'll say break.
Wallace, exactly. You would come to a stop first. You wouldn't want to break as you're in motion. You want to be stationary first.
Right.
Gus break, and then he can greet to make it very clear cut.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you're walking with him and you say break as you're walking, when he passes by a dog, he's going to assume the release and just go. Make sense?
Yes. So we shouldn't do this every dog.
Not every dog, but then also always make sure that you're stopped. He's here first. Wait a moment. Break. Okay, making it very clear cut that you're going when I say so, and varying that time, because if you stop and break right away, he's gonna think every time you stop within a second you're gonna release him.
Okay, so hold him.
Yeah. Okay. Wait 5 seconds, wait 2 seconds, wait 10 seconds. You're varying that gap there, so that he doesn't pick up on a pattern, because he will absolutely pick up on you make me wait for a second. Okay? Questions?
No, that was it.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna have you start first. Just show me what you've been practicing,
okay.
and we'll move on to the next thing.
So just do your turns?
Correct. Good turn. Good. Go ahead and pivot back. Good. Go ahead and slow to stop. Good. Yeah, a little distracted, but this is fine. Very good. And I'm assuming he walks the same way with you as well? Perfect. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add in the formal heel command.
Okay.
Super simple. You're going to cue heel first, and then you're going to move forward with your left leg. Okay? So you're going to go heel, exactly heel. You're going to start walking with your left leg. You're going to walk for a bit, slow down to a stop. Did we do the auto sits last time?
You did teach us how to like
lightly up and tap.
Oh, we didn't practice that one as well, but he usually does sit. Sometimes he doesn't.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to sit him in case he doesn't. So in the heel, sit is automatic. Okay. Every time you stop, gut should automatically just put that butt down. Okay. So what you're gonna do is once you come to a stop, you're gonna shorten your leash and pass to your right hand. Okay. You're gonna pull up, and then with your left hand, press down on the butt. So if you were standing, you would be creating this motion, and you're also gonna tap at the same time.
Tap while you're pushing down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as you pull up, you push down, and tap all at once. We should get the sitting motion. You're gonna wait a second. Heel, left leg.
Okay.
Okay?
So do I start now with the heel?
Correct.
Okay. Heel.
Good. Go into slow turn. And then you're gonna come to a stop. That's fine. If he sits, I'm gonna have you go sit. Good, praise. So if he sits, we don't do anything. Okay? It's if he doesn't sit that you'll do this that pattern thing, okay? We'll do this 4 more times.
Okay.
Heel.
Heel.
Go slow turn. Good turn. Slow to stop. Good. Praise. Good boy.
Good boy. Good boy.
3 more. Yep.
Heel.
Good. Get ready to turn. Good turn. Stop when you're ready. Now here, there you go. You're fine. You did it. Praise. Good boy. 2 more.
Heel.
Go ahead and stop when you're ready. Tap, 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 and praise. Good. Heel forward, then turn. Slow to a stop. Good. So right there, because he got distracted by that dog, if he doesn't sit, that's exactly how you would do that.
Okay.
Okay, so you still have a means of making it happen. Otherwise, if he does it by himself, that's perfectly fine. Okay? Let's go and swap handlers real quick. Up cap. Yeah, right, good. Then swap, because he's still in command technically. And tap, up tap. Tap. You're gonna slow to a stop. Attach the mom a little bit. So you're gonna do the same thing. Heel forward that left leg. Okay. Heel. Good. Slow to slow turn. Good turn. And slow to stop. Good, Trace. Good. Heel left leg. Heel.
C'est sorti des poubelles.
Good. Slow to stop. Good. And a boy. 3 more. Heel to left leg. Heel. Good. Good. tap forward, good. Good.
Oh, but really stays
And
close.
last one. Heel. Good turn. Slow to stop. Beautiful. Very good. So that's the easy part. Okay. Now you have a formal on switch. So last week it was just start walking and tap and it should come to your side. Now it's heel, left leg. Okay. The reason for that left leg is dogs have a wider peripheral range than we do. So he sees this moving out. That's his visual cue of now we're moving. Okay. So in more advanced training, left leg means walk with me, right leg means don't move. Okay.
Okay.
So just getting those leg movements conditioned to help him recognize what we're doing. Okay. So now we're going to go over the turns. So there's two major turns. There's the crossover, which is turning left or crossing over Gus, and then we have the pivots. Okay. The pivot is the turn that you were doing last week, where if he would pass you, you would just go like that. Okay. So we'll start with the crossovers because that's typically the hardest for people. And I like to use the sidewalk as my guide. So if you hug to the right side of the sidewalk, whenever we do a turn and a stop, we always want to make sure that we do slow down first. To cue to Gus, something's changing. So if we're walking and I slow down, I'm going to take my right leg and cross over at a sharp 90-degree cut. Okay? So if we use the sidewalk, you'll step right on that crack, and then you're going to come out with your left leg, and then you're going to cut it again with your right leg, and you should go in the opposite way. Okay? If you're doing all this correctly, you should stay within the width of the sidewalk. If we're doing a normal sidewalk, this is obviously twice as big, you would be within the space, okay? You shouldn't end up on the grass or anything like that. So, again, we're walking, slow down, and timing that right leg so it's right in front of Gus. He'll either stop or naturally pivot with you. The left leg, and cutting again with the right leg, okay? For the pivots, you are actually doing this naturally, the both of you are. Most people do, okay? But then when they start thinking about things, then it's like, oh, what do I do? So here, for those 180 pivots, it's extending the left leg, stepping back on the right leg, forward the left leg, and go the opposite. So it's left, right, left, okay? So the other one is right, left, right. So it would be right, left, right. And then for the pivot, it's left, right, left. So you're going opposite, okay? As you're doing the turns, if you find that Gus is getting ahead, always default to the turn, okay? Always default to turn and tap. Because if he's ahead of you like this, and you try to turn into him, and you rush it, it's gonna feel very awkward, okay? So like people try to run around the dog. So if you slow down and Gus keeps going, he's already telling me he's not paying attention. I just turn, tap, to line them up and then try again, okay? So we're gonna start first with the left turns, or the crossovers, because those are the hardest. We'll do a batch of those, then we'll do a batch of the pivots, and then we'll swap handlers, okay? Questions?
I'm glad he's going first, because I'm bad at directions. So I'll
So,
watch him do it first. Yeah, relax your arm.
Right, left, right, perfect. 4 more. Right, left, right, and you can go a little bit further down to give him more time. There you go. Right, left, right,
Oh wow,
good.
you're really good at it. Oh, I'm gonna be over this court.
Right.
Oh, that was quick.
Left, right, good. Right, left, right, good. And then you'll slow to stop. Good, attaboy. Now you're gonna do those pivots to your immediate right. So it's gonna be the left, right, left. Heel. Left, right, left. Perfect. 4 more. Good. 3 more. Good. Right, good. 2 more. Yeah, good. Forward. A little distracted with the dog. Right, left, good. And then slow to stop.
He's on his eyes on.
Perfect. So now what we're gonna do, same deal, but now you're gonna go between those turns however you want. So you change it up. Sometimes you do pivots, and sometimes you do crossovers, okay? If your body language is correct and Gus is paying attention, there should be no remote. You didn't tap any time there, right? Other than maybe at the end here?
Yeah, I just tried to watch.
Yeah, because of that dog.
What's
I
he-
don't think he needs it.
What is he at right now?
15.
Yeah. So if your body language is correct and he's paying attention, there should be no need for remote. Okay, go ahead.
Heel.
Good pivot. Good crossover. Good pivot. Good. 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 Couple more. Right, good crossover. Good. And slow to stop when you're ready. Very good. Okay.
Buddy.
Swap handlers. Yep.
Sometimes I do that, like, by accident.
Old habits.
Old habit, but he stopped, so that's a bad picture. Okay.
So, I'm gonna have you start with the crossovers first.
Okay.
Okay. Questions before you get started?
No.
All right, go for it.
Heel.
Okay. So you're turning left with your right leg. Almost.
Wait, I do.
So that was a very soft right step. You went like 45, you need to go 90.
Okay.
Okay.
With my right though.
Correct. Right, left, and right. And don't be afraid to power through. Okay? Right, left, right. Good. Sharper on that second right, okay?
Okay. You can tell that I don't know my rows.
Right, left, much better. Right, there you go. Much better. Good. Got it. Good. One more.
Yes.
Good. And slow to stop. Those are good. Okay? So what we want to do, I'm going to have you do another batch of those, is put the power behind it. Okay? Because you're in your head, right? Because you're still thinking about like which leg is what, right? But when you want to just commit and right, left, right. That's why he was pushing a bit, because you were turning, but then you're concerned of like, oh, he's in my way, and I don't want to like hurt him. That you pivoted, I don't do that. I move through, okay? Because if you cross it over, you see the center through. If he pushes in, that's actually how he fix that. Is if he pushes in like this, just randomly, boom, I'll turn into him, and I use my leg to go crap, right? So there's close, but then there's too close.
Okay.
So I'm trying to teach you how to balance. Remote tells you to come in closer, my legs tell him like too close.
Okay.
Right? So we're gonna try those left turns again, but this time I'm gonna have you put a little bit more umph behind it, okay? When you're ready.
Heel.
Left. Much better. Good. Good. There you go. Forward tap. There you go. Good.
Dad isn't helping.
And then I'm going to stop right here. Did that feel awkward?
Yes.
Why did it feel
I
awkward?
was trying to step over it.
What's that?
I was trying to like avoid him.
Why?
I don't want to hurt him.
Okay. Why else? You forgot something, by the way. What do we do before we turn?
Slow down.
Yeah. So you just went into it. That's why it was awkward. And then the hesitation of like, I don't want to hurt him.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So we're going to try it again. So we want to slow down prior and also umph. Now you get the umph part of it. You just want to remember to slow down.
Okay.
Okay? And it's like almost everybody forgets to slow down. Okay? So, good?
Heel.
That was good, but was there a slowdown?
I thought there was, maybe not.
Are you a fast walker?
Yes.
Okay. Not explosive. That was better. Good. Now I'm gonna have you pick up your pace. And when you slow down, you're gonna slow down dramatically, okay?
Okay.
Better. You notice that difference?
Right.
Because you made it more drastic.
Yeah. Okay, let's try it again.
Much better. Good. Now go ahead and come to a stop when you're ready. Okay. Now when you walk, what's your natural pace? Is it like that last one that you just did, or is that like a speedy walk? Okay. So I want you to go at your normal pace,
Okay.
and then when you slow down, just think drastic slowdown. Okay. And I'm gonna have you aim for 5 steps as opposed to 3 steps.
Just slow down.
Slow down 5 steps.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Left leg.
Heel.
Ha. Better. Now your normal pace. Okay, that was pretty good. 3 more. Good turn. 2 more. Yeah. As long as he's not too behind, he's actually doing pretty good. Excellent. 1 more. Excellent. And then come in. Come forward. And then slow to a stop when you're ready. Perfect. But did that feel much more smooth for you?
Yeah.
So when your communication is good, okay, it should feel very easy, okay? So he does not know what you're doing. He'll never know what you're doing, okay? But you can communicate by using those leg movements. So did you have to tap really into there? I think a couple to speed him up, it looked like.
No, I attempt when he was trying to like, pay attention to him and yeah, it was like
Get him to come forward. Yeah. But for the turns, it was pretty much just there was nothing there, right?
Right. No.
Correct. So body language is how they communicate. That's why it's so quick. Okay. So we don't use any words here. As long as your movements are correct, he should be on your hip. Okay. So those left turns much better. Okay. Especially adding in those extra 2 slow down steps. So for my fast walkers, like I'll tell them either slow down longer or exaggerate that slow down because they're so used to walking fast that when they slow down, what's slow to them and what's slow to the dog is very different. Okay. So now we're gonna go to those pivots. Okay. So that's gonna be left, right, left. Okay. Go ahead. Perfect. 4 more.
Back onto it naturally.
Good. 3 more. Good. 2 more. Excellent. Last one.
I'm not slowing down again.
You did for the first 3. Good. And then slow to stop. Perfect. All right. So yeah, those pivots people tend to do naturally. It's the left turns that tend to be hard. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is same thing that I had to do is I'm gonna have you just go between those turns randomly, however you want. Okay. And also adding in those changes of pace, like the speeding up at your normal pace, and then slowing down at least 5 steps before going into those turns. Okay. Go ahead.
Heel.
Good turn. Good pivot. Excellent. Good. All right. So yeah, that's you got it, though. Good crossover. That was good. You had a lot going on right there.
Yeah.
Now you know why we have 2 different turns.
He loves kids. So.
Good crossover. Good. Good. Good pivot. Do a few more. Crossover. Good. Going to bring Gus over. Good. Slow down, stop. His cousin.
Oh my god, that is a really pretty one.
I'll just walk up to it.
Alright.
So, very good. So all that, your communication was good. I think the only time you had to tap him was when like he was distracted by like what was going on around him. And it was really close, right? So that's normal. But other than that, your turns look really good. There was one where you like turned and I think there was no slowdown and you felt the awkwardness. So almost always when a client complains like, Jesse, my dog's not turning with me or they're not stopping with me, it's usually they're not slowing down, okay? So keep that in mind. What I suggest in the beginning, because you're just getting this in your muscle memory, is before your walks, have Gus do his business, get that out the way, and then do 5 heels to stops, 5 heels to left turns,
5 heels.
and then 5 heel to pivot.
5 heels to left turn. What do you mean? So
The
5
crossovers.
Yeah, but are you stopping in between?
Yes. So you're just like going, you're just not like, you know how you did right here?
So basically you say heel, walk, do a turn, and then stop, and then heel, walk, do a turn.
Sure. Or you can heel and you can heel 10 steps, stop.
Oh,
Heel.
when you say heel, that means he's walking.
Correct. And then you would do heel 5 steps, crossover turn,
Okay.
stop, heel 10 steps, crossover turn, just to warm up. Okay? Because the hard part's going to be now you're on a walk. Oh, I'm going to turn left at the stop sign. And now you have to time your leg movements and everything so that when you hit that stop sign, it's a very natural flow. Does that make sense?
So there's no turn when you turn right. It's just kind of because you can go there.
So if you're turning right, you'd actually do left leg still, but it's just like this.
So this.
Yeah. Okay. So you're leading with the leg opposite to your turn.
Okay.
So if you're going left, you turn with your right leg, right? So if I was going to make a soft left, it would just be right leg, and I go like that. Okay. But like right there, that was actually a perfect example when like all those kids came by. You didn't have space to pivot, and he would have been coming into all the kids.
Right.
So instead, you said, "I'm going to make a tight left Yui here," and then you went this way, and it kept him out the way of the kids, and it kept you out of the way of them as well.
Right.
So that's why we have 2 kind of like U-turn or going the opposite way. Because going left is easy. You just go left. Lead right, boom. Now I'm going left. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Now, if I'm going right, then I lead left, and then I go this way. But I would keep going straight.
Okay.
So the pivots and the crossover are the 2 harder turns. They require a little bit more communication for him. Whereas the others, if you just turn soft left and you leave that right, you just go straight. Okay? Yeah. And the hardest turn for dogs to get is the right turn. When you do this, when you go like this, because you're turning away from him.
To the right. Oh.
Yeah. So if Gus is here, because remember his peripheral range, right? So when you turn right, you just go like that. You're out of his eyesight. So you would still slow down, but then it would just be like this. So he should still catch it. Okay? Questions?
Can I try that?
So you'll want to hug to your left side. You're going to be turning to the right, and you want more space. There you go, like that. So if you just kept, because if you did a soft right, you would just keep going straight. See what I'm saying? So you have the pivot. So do the pivot.
The pivot.
That's left, right, left, going 180 to your right. Good, right? So that's pivoting straight back. So now hug to your left. And then when you make this right turn, just continue going straight. Like that. You see? So then you can just turn this way. There you go. Yep. There you go. And then slow to stop. So the only time you'd really use that right turn in that fashion is if you're turning soft right on a walk. Okay? So the pivots are for when you have to change direction, but you have 2 options in case if you can't 180 pivot because there's people behind you, you can cross over and now you're on the opposite side of the sidewalk. Does that make sense? So you have options depending on what the situation is like at that given time.
Right. Makes sense.
Questions?
I don't have. Do you have any questions, man? I asked. Well, what was the questions I asked before? What were the questions I asked in the beginning?
You had 3. One was
about being in a different environment, you might have to turn it
raise
off.
the number.
And then the other, I just want to make sure he gets it. The other one was Oh, if he's like leaning into you, but we kind of just solved
Yeah,
that
so
by just doing the turn.
if he starts to lean into you, okay, if he's like really pushing against you,
Yeah.
you would do the left turn and just randomly turn into him. And I want that right leg to bump him out the way.
Right.
Okay? So don't be afraid of hurting. It's
Okay.
just bump, left, bump again. Okay? So that physicality of that leg coming in. So actually I had a client earlier, she has a 6-month-old golden retriever puppy. And she turned into the puppy and it kept getting in her way. So then finally I just told her, keep going, and the puppy yipped, right? But then the next turn after that, the puppy got it. Because she just moved in. So the puppy goes, I don't want to get in your way. Okay? So we'll try that right now, just to give you an idea of what it looks like.
Okay.
Is you're not going to do the slow down. You're just going to turn left. But you have to force it. Okay? So if you're walking, it's boom. You have to move in very assertively because it's not about giving them a heads up. It's about correcting that tightness if we see that happen this week. Okay?
Okay. Can we try that now?
Correct.
Do I have to? I'm not feeling it.
No, because this is about fixing a problem. Okay? So like, let's say when Gus gets ahead of you, you don't slow down. You just pivot.
Okay.
Because he's not paying attention. So here, if he's too tight, if you slow down and try to fix it, it's not the same as just turning into him and correcting him for coming in too close.
Okay. And then before I do that, so I don't forget this question. So like, I noticed today when he like went after a squirrel when I was in the wheel, and I did that, he like really grabbed the squirrel for the rest of the walk.
Sure.
So can like, if he's on the leash, he's doing undesirable behavior, like such as like I can try. Okay.
Yeah. And then
So like eating this food, I can hit it while he's on the leash.
on the leash. Once we cover, like next class, we'll do recall. Once we cover formal come and called, then you can start correcting off the leash.
Okay.
Okay? Because I don't want you to send him running away and not having me to getting him back.
Okay. Heel.
Boom, power through, pump. Good. Boom. A little bit more Better. We're gonna do 2 more. And it's not doing much now because he's not in the way. Okay, last one. Mike, be careful. You got it.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Good. So, right there, those weren't a problem because 1, you're in a training session, but 2, we weren't seeing that issue.
Right.
That's if you see that issue, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you do the left turns and he keeps doing it, you're doing it incorrectly.
Okay.
Okay, and it's most likely because you feel bad because you don't want to bump into him.
Okay.
All right, but dogs bite each other.
Right.
You know, I see dogs, they're running and they tackle each other and they go flipping and rolling and they get up and they shake it off and they go back and start
Right,
playing it.
right,
Right?
right.
They're very physically tough.
Right.
Okay, so we're not doing it to be mean. We're doing it to be just to set boundaries, and then once you address it, it's usually not an issue.
Okay.
Okay. Other questions?
No, I don't have any. Dan, do you have any questions?
Do you want to try that left turn thing?
Go ahead, try it.
Go and try it, just in case.
I mean, I think we were doing it earlier. Just deal.
So what you're gonna do now is just random left turns, crossing with that right leg. Get longer legs.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Good. 3 more. Nice. 1 more.
He wasn't paying attention. Do they start to be able to multitask?
Who? Dogs? Yes.
Because like I can tell he's looking at other things, but he's also checking
Yes.
back in.
Absolutely. Good. And slow to stop.
Jesse, you're so smart.
Very good. you have questions about any of this?
No. No, he's like, I even noticed that like he's better at walking now. Like, just in general on his leash.
Oh, sure. Like if you went out for like a debug without the
Oh,
collar.
the other question is basically like him not really getting break.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So
So what I told her was to on a walk is to offer more times for break. And eventually he'll get curious and go like, okay, what happens if I go sniffing now? Or does he have any ball drive? Will he like fetch anything?
no, he has stick drive.
Okay. So what you could do, have a stick, come to a stop, sit, wait a moment, just break, and throw the stick.
Right.
Because what you're trying to create is the incentive of like, when I say break,
No
do
sticks.
something.
Okay, so like incentive with sticks, and then I don't know if Jay was here for the other thing, but with like other dogs, like don't break for every dog, basically. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then making sure you vary that length of time you have them hold for. Because if it's
yes.
stop, sit, break, stop, sit, break, stop, sit, break, he's gonna catch that pattern. So then when you come to a stop, within that second, boom, he's gonna go and push forward.
Right. So like before morning playtime.
Right. So dogs are very much about habit, and they'll pick up on patterns very well. So if you start to notice anything, then we want to start kind of varying it a bit so that he doesn't get stuck in that.
Okay.
Okay. So your homework for this week is applying this. Okay. So remember to say heel. Warm up with those 5 heels, the 5 crossovers, and the 5 pivots. Then starting your walk. Okay. 5 heels.
Okay, and then just like go over that, so it would be like heel, I walk, I do my crossovers, whatever. Then do I keep doing those? I stop and then do another heel and do this?
Right, so you can do heel and then just do 5 crossovers in a row, or you can do 5 heel crossover stop, heel crossover stop.
Okay, crossover stop.
Yeah, you can do it however you like, but do 5 of each.
Okay.
Okay, so it really should only take you like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then you would start your heel, and now we're on a walk. Okay, it's more so that you practice it regularly to get it in your muscle memory. Okay, because on an actual walk, you wouldn't cross over, it would cross over like every 5 blocks or so, whatever your pattern is. So you're doing this in the beginning to get yourself used to it. Now once it's in your muscle memory, like for me, it's like impossible to do the wrong leg movements because I've been doing this for 10 years.
Right.
And if I try to show someone with the wrong leg movement, it feels very weird for me. Okay. So once you get used to it, you don't even think about it. If he's not being mindful of you, either 1, he forgot to slow down, or 2, he completely was not paying attention. Okay. In which you want to correct him to reinforce what he's supposed to be doing. Okay. So heel as a package. Walk with me, stay with me, sit when I stop. His job, pay attention to you. Your job to reinforce whatever you taught him and to make sure that he is paying attention. Okay? So if he starts to forge and you need to make a left turn, don't left turn. He's not even paying attention. Turn, tap, correct him, turn again if you have to, and then go into the crossover.
Okay, so at this point, we don't need to start tapping him to start. We just say heel.
Right, yeah, exactly. So last week we needed the tap to start it, but now that you have the verbal cue, it's replacing the tap. Now if you say heel and he doesn't move, you would tap to get him to move with you.
Okay. Wait. So I should be able to do heel. And he knows that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So what I would do, go to, you have to bring him back. What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, chapstick, slow to stop.
It's not a zaptor.
So what I would do is stop, tap, tap. Very good. Is if Gus is on your right, okay?
Right.
I would have it so he's on my left heel, so it's straight.
So put him in a favorable position
Correct.
to start. Okay, so I can't just be over here and be like, ew.
Because you're bringing him from the opposite side.
Well, he wants to do the same.
So now, if you do say heel from the right side, you'll need to start tapping and pull him to bring him to your left side.
Okay.
Okay, so you can do that. You just have to guide him.
Okay, and the end game is basically for him, if he's off the leash, I say heel, he goes right to my left side.
Well, technically, depending on where he's at. So like, let's say Gus was like where that lady is with her kid, right? I wouldn't say heel. That's come.
Oh, okay.
And then once he's here, I would go into the heel.
Okay, got
Now,
it.
if Gus is right there, I could say heel, boom, because it's straight to my leg. You may have seen some trainers teach heel means come over here.
That's what he learned eventually first.
Yes. So I hate that method for me because that makes it mean two things. Heel then means this and then means this, right? But dogs aren't like humans. Like dogs don't compute two definitions for one thing.
Right.
Okay. So it's more for me. I teach that as finish and then heel. So it's two separate commands.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, other questions?
For the recall next week, Brian said I already have a 30-foot leash.
Okay.
Is that all we need?
Yes. 30 foot. And this. If you don't want this leash to get dirty, then I suggest bringing like.
I just bought a 30-foot because we're actually going camping with Wallace, Bree, and Brian tomorrow. So I've got a longer leash.
Sure.
Okay. So 30-foot leash. We only need one.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any other questions, Dan? Or any other questions I should ask?
That was good.
You did good?
Sorry, I've been talking all day.
No, that's all right. I get it. I wear a mask for 10 hours a day and then I'm talking. So that you did good? You did good job,
Yeah.
buddy. Break!
He was spot on.
And so is it, like I feel like we don't really use that this much sometimes. Like
Right,
this.
because yeah, so like as you go along, right? So remember like cops and humans,
Right.
that's your cop. So if he's doing well, we don't need it,
Okay.
right? But it's there just in case.
Okay.
So no, but what I saw today, very good.
Very good. That's kind of an A.
You're good.
All right. So other than that, we don't have any other questions.
Little tiny little thing. Yeah, everything's going great. Nothing out of the ordinary. He's come a long way from the nervousness of that first class.
I know. Yeah. He's
So-
nervous and
Yeah, so that's good. That's a good sign. Typically, when it takes dogs longer, like there's more behavioral stuff going on.
yeah. I don't think he had any depression either. I was like, is he depressed?
Yeah, no.
No,
It's not depression. It's like nobody likes rules.
Right.
Is what all that is. Okay. So good job, guys.
Thank you.
So have your long leash ready for next week.
Got it. All right.
If you don't want to get this looks like a nice leash. If you want to get that dirty, then I suggest like another short leash.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you don't care about this, because it's gonna be dragging and stuff.
Right. We'll just bring the new one I got.
Okay.
The long leash.
All right. Otherwise, good job. See you in a week.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.